Pre-game shit.
Pre-game shit.
Her family owns hundreds of acres on old fort territory, like literally the fort, the cannons are still there, stuff like that.
Whoa.
So horses. Next door to her is her parents' house, and they've got this giant pool. So my kids were just living at large for a couple of days. I was over there trying to sell books all day, and they're like, "We want to come back again next year."
That's actually great. Instead of them, deep down into their phones, they're actually doing something like kids should.
Yeah, and they were doing the park, and so we'll go down there. I'd go down a couple days early. That way I can spend time with some family.
It's a shot glass. Oh, you want one of your cool ones?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try that some of the Breeze stuff.
And they announced after they did this one, they announced they have another flavor coming out next month.
So the Michael McDowell the Elementals. How was that?
It was okay.
I've heard a lot about it. So.
Yeah. I'd seen it popping up there. I was like, isn't this book? I thought this book had been around for a while, but it's everywhere in Barnes & Noble right now.
Is this good?
Yeah. Has a pineapple-y flavor. It's not my favorite.
Is it going to make it taste good?
Hoping
and then
so.
we're recording.
This is the pregame. Welcome to the pregame show, folks.
And it's definitely Southern Gothic, I would say. So going into it, I didn't know. I think that was part of what it was. I wasn't expecting, what to expect. It's more Southern Gothic than horror outright.
Okay. Is that the only book you're going to talk about
for today? Yeah.
So here's this is what I'm thinking of doing. Maybe we'll get so big that people want to pay for advertising. I doubt they will. So I have more books than those two up there that I want to talk about.
I got one.
Right, yeah, you got one. But I'm thinking that for every one of our shows, the novels that are really current, or like that one's a classic, that they get that there are featured novels of the show where they'll just be up there the whole time. Especially because Ron. Oh my God. Come with me. Holy shit. I keep telling if you read any of Ron's work.
Yeah.
I keep telling
I did which one's the one up in Alaska?
Oh, Bone White.
Bone White, yeah.
Bone White
wonderful.
is
Bone White is wonderful.
Bone White is currently under production with Amazon, and I can't remember. Let me look here. Oh, well, okay. That one's made public, so I guess I can't. Come with Me is also
in production.
Not in production, but they're looking to sell the rights.
Optioning.
Very, very much optioning.
Hey, how would you pronounce this name here?
Is it Sean McGuire?
I'm asking you the pronunciation.
I'm asking him. Is it Sean? I know the
Seanan?
name. The name is very. That's a big name author, but I've always read the name rather than heard the name. That's the problem.
Okay, I'm gonna say Seanan. It's his own fault for having that name.
But yeah, so I thought
I
that.
don't remember if it's a guy or a girl.
I
think it's a guy. If you wrote it as a girl.
I thought that for every show, we'd have, again, like those are our featured books. Not that, like the books that will be coming out most recently or could use the... So do you have any other books besides that one you're talking about?
Sean McGuire.
Sean McGuire.
Okay. Me or him?
You.
For other books? I was just going to do that one.
What about you?
I got one, maybe two. Maybe a review that already happened, but you can get another perspective of it.
What is that?
You'll see.
Okay. Can you turn around there, Chuck, and grab Possessed directly behind you, Peter Laws, because I'm going to do that one also. Thanks. I can hold it up just like that. Oh.
So what? What are we doing in order? We're doing.
Okay, here's what I got.
Libations.
So intro. Also, and if you don't mind, I'll take the intro. Just to start. And I'm gonna give a brief. This is what we're doing, and the comments are open, but I'm not have enough time to moderate them. So we'll see that could be a bad thing. So intro to the changes, libations. As far as horror that I thought we could do a segment on horror that we've newly discovered, or horror that we're looking forward to. Now, for example, I'm really enjoying The Sinner on Netflix. Like that probably seems to be more like
Filmed in Owego.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
There's local scenes that are filmed here in Southern Tier, including scenes in Owego.
That's
I think
amazing.
I don't know if Binghamton's in it, but I think I heard Johnson City is also in it. If a part of it.
I'm really enjoying it. It's like it would be more like it's not supernatural by any means, but it's definitely that dark horror. And Bill Pullman's great.
Mhm.
So that's what I've enjoyed. But as far as looking forward to, we've got a couple repeats here just because thanks to COVID, a lot of these have been pushed off. I definitely want to go see Spiral. I've never had any urge to see a Saw movie in my entire life, but to see a Saw movie with not only Chris Rock but Samuel Jackson.
I'm actually excited about it.
Yeah.
I mostly watched the first Saw. I kind of saw parts here and there. I got the gist of it. I already knew what the twist was before I had seen it at that point. I'm like, that's a clever twist, but gore porn is never my thing.
No.
And but Spiral looks awesome.
And of course, Halloween Kills.
They dropped the new trailer for Conjuring 3.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. I definitely want to see that. I have Conjuring 3 on here. I know we had talked about Antlers.
Antlers is probably my number one.
Candyman.
What's the sequel to A Silent Place?
Silent Place 2.
It might be.
Scream 5.
Dear Lord.
Um,
You guys do upcoming because I haven't even thought about it.
you know what I have
I
on
have been watching a lot, but
You know what I have on here that's horror adjacent, but Morbius. Morbius, the Living Vampire.
I did see the New Mutants, by the
Yeah.
way.
How was that? I've heard a lot of people say it wasn't nearly as bad as everyone was saying.
It's a rental. Remember, you used to use that phrase. It's a rental.
It's a rental.
I mean, they.
Oh, speaking
tried.
of, sorry, keep it going. Sorry.
They tried. Like, first of all, they filmed in an actual hospital, so that was real, and that was actually very interesting. And even the cast and crew said that place was creepy. And I like that. First of all, they also had pretty good background for the characters. I mean, because basically it's X-Men. They're very tragic backstories.
Right.
And I like that it was. I'm gonna ruin it for you. Essentially, it was the Sinister Corporation behind it, Mr. Sinister.
Oh,
So
Mr. Sinister's classic.
So it has some horror elements. I do feel like it may have been rushed,
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
but which is kind of weird because then it was in development hell for a while, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, rush to make development hell is a different thing.
Yeah.
Development hell is when it's just sitting there and it's not being done.
Mhm.
Yeah. Speaking of Marvel, we finally took a dive and got Disney Plus. So
Nice.
all of my recent writing productivity has probably just been shot. I just started WandaVision yesterday.
I haven't done it yet.
So
My wife, we're waiting till my wife gets finished up this semester. School.
WandaVision is great so far.
I want to watch it. My wife is she's finishing school for May.
Well, you know what? The thing about WandaVision is first of all, anytime somebody complains on social media, I don't understand it. Then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like that. You
Yeah.
know. Second of all, it's crazy because I love superhero movies. I'll never have superhero movie fatigue, especially considering the crap that you and I grew up with. Holy crap! 70s Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
Live action, yeah, right. Live action 70s Spider-Man. Not nearly as entertaining as Japanese Spider-Man, that's for sure.
I would watch. Spider-Man.
Japanese Spider-Man.
I would watch it.
But
You kid, throw it off the bridge.
the crazy thing with WandaVision is Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen are acting. They're acting. We haven't seen it's a shtick.
Yep.
And we know kind of the setup because Scarlet Witch has reality-altering powers. But they're acting, and it's really, really fun to watch. Okay, so schedule. So also, I've heard a lot of, as far as upcoming, I've heard a lot of people rumbling about Them on Amazon. So I really
Not
want
the
to
giant
check
killer radioactive.
that out. No,
ants.
it's a. I don't think.
Did you ever see that?
I've seen it.
I don't think it's.
It's cheesy, but it's actually got some
It's
pretty
not
good
bad.
dialogue and
Yeah. It
And-
was of the old classic monster movies I watched. I'm like, this one's actually not bad.
I don't think Them is Jordan Peele.
But it's in that vein.
Yes. So I've heard people say like, this is disturbing, heartbreaking, uncomfortable.
Mhm.
I love it. So that after that, I thought we'd take a break. So with our breaks, this is the way I'm thinking of doing. We'll just announce we're going to pretend that thousands of people are watching this show.
Mhm.
They're not, but that's okay. But I got to tell you, I made a brief announcement last Saturday live to just let people know what we're doing, and it almost instantly got 20 views.
Mhm.
Far quicker than any of our uploads. So anyway, so with our breaks, we will just tell them, and I may get technically proficient. So if you look at this right here, this is a really great software. Chuck, if you ever want to do this, OBS is completely free. So the way I've got things layered here, okay, and I'm going to have to change, I'm going to have to put the intro in before we start, because we're going to actually do our intro. The way everything's layered here is this is all the elements that are in the show. You could
10 minutes.
you could end up putting 10 minutes to what? Well, 15 minutes. You could end up putting. We might even be able to put in commercials.
I want to go with this. This is probably more accurate. This is definitely more accurate.
Oh.
So yeah, 10 minutes.
Okay. So you could even put in commercials.
Mhm.
So anyway, so when we do our break, we're going to say, okay, folks, we're going to take a break. Not a piss break. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. So if you're watching, go get something to eat. If you're watching this later, here's your time to go do something else. We'll be back in 10 minutes. So then after that, I thought, Tom and I were talking about before you got here, I've been really binging the crazy low-budget 80 movies, 80 horror on Shudder. And I have this feeling that low budget horror in the 80s and 90s is better than low budgets today, because but that's my thought.
We'll get that.
We'll
talk
save
later.
it.
We'll talk
Okay.
later.
So then I thought another break after that. So then our book talk, okay, and then we'll have the books that we're going to share, and then another break after that. And then for our movie segment, he's got Devil's Gate for Hammer of Truth. Have you watched Creepshow season 2 at all?
No, I have not.
I've got my in progress review of that. I've also got a couple Shudder recommendations. But do you have any movies that you want to talk about?
I haven't watched a lot of horror lately.
Okay,
I've watched
that's
other.
fine.
I've watched other stuff.
Okay.
And I've got the stuff from the anime thing. So.
Okay,
I've
The
so-
Briar Patch.
No, that's not Briar Patch. We'll save that for video games. We'll save that. For
All right.
So I've got a couple movie picks. I've got. Did you say you were going to do Block Island Sound?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I did Block Island Sound too, so that'd be good. And you had what other movies did you have for your movie picks?
Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight and The Silence.
Okay, so we can
Not
do
picks,
that.
just reviews.
And I've got
I read The Silence.
I've got Boys from County Hell, Irish Vampire. I thought it was really good, and The Power.
Let me guess, you waits for the drunks to leave the bar.
Then we'll have a break after that, and then I don't know how many of the Child's Play movies have you seen?
I've actually never watched any.
I saw
But here's-
3 of them totally.
Okay, so
But
I
here's the-
watched them all.
but here's the thing. I heard Chucky all the time growing up there, so I never had an interest to watch them.
So they're amazingly funny. They're not horror. Brad Dourif and Jennifer Tilly.
I did not watch those.
No,
I've watched them all.
I've seen clips. I get it. I've seen entire sections of
Here's-
movies. I just never sat and watched a whole movie.
So here's why I want to bring it up.
Uh-huh.
Sci-Fi has a series coming out called Chucky,
Oh my god.
where someone buys Chucky at a garage sale. But the vehicle is that throughout the series, everyone's in this small town while Chucky is carrying out his bloody rampage. Everyone's secrets and weaknesses and skeletons. So I'm like, holy crap, is this like
I
a
saw.
Twilight Zone Stranger Things Chucky?
Yeah.
I am so into that. So I'm going to do a special Legacy of Chucky. And then we'll have a break. And then anime horror. And then a break. And then, oh, what's that?
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
I will mention tentacles.
And
but
then
there's no
classic
tentacles
horror. I've been watching the Val Lewiston movies and The Howling. And you've got a couple movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to end with crazy 80 movies on horror, because holy shit, have I been watching some weird movies. And they're like really like I've got little taglines. Mausoleum, demon boobs,
Oh.
humanoids from the deep, getting all Innsmouth with it instead of jiggy with it, because that's what the mortuary, over the top.
He spent hours thinking of that
Yes.
joke.
Yes.
Yes, mortuary. Well, that's the thing. I'm watching it, and I posted I'd watch it, and people were writing comments, and I'm like, are these things? I couldn't tell. I'm like, I think these things are like trying to impregnate these women, and I'm like, are they pulling an Innsmouth on these women? And then Mike Lombardo was like, yes. Yes, they are. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the movie ends with some girl giving birth to this like rah thing. So the mortuary I have over the top, Bill Paxton.
Oh, wait. Did you mention drinking? We were doing that one first, right?
Libations.
Yes, libations.
Okay,
Yeah.
I remember.
Hellmaster, John Saxton pays the mortgage.
Saxon, not
Saxton.
Saxton.
One Dark Night, Psychic
He's
Zombie.
gonna say after a few drinks, he's gonna say Saxton.
Yeah. One Dark Night, Psychic Zombies on Roller Skates, Jennifer Tilly's older sister Meg, and Adam West plays concerned husband.
Oh.
Don't Panic, 19-year-old in pajamas summons demon through a Ouija board. And then I have Edge of the Axe, the Crying Game, before it was the Crying Game.
Oh.
All right, so let me get over here, seeing as how we're almost ready. I want to make sure we're all set to go. So if you're watching the pregame show, we're logging off now, and go watch the real thing.